the school has done everything to shape who I am today. Like, there's so many traits that I look back on that I really gained and worked on at my time at Greenwood. But I would definitely say confidence and just personable skills really built up at Greenwood.
I'm Agnes Stowicki, Managing Editor with Our Kids. We're speaking with insiders from Canada's leading private and independent schools to bring you insights into school programs, culture, traditions, and leadership. This includes insights from parents, alumni, and administration. This is the Our Kids Insider Perspective.
While I can proudly say that I appreciated everything about my experience at Greenwood, I would definitely say the community really jumps out at me when I think about what I appreciated the most. I think having teachers and advisors that really, like, there's a lot of overlap within those teachers and advisors. You have them on outdoor education experiences, you have them on most of your sports teams, and a lot of the time they'll be teaching you throughout your whole journey at Greenwood. I think that really stood out to me, and I still keep in touch with a lot of my teachers, and I think that's just really special, like catching up with them, seeing them at alumni events, and them like keeping tabs on me and knowing what's going on in my life. As well, the overall community of students at Greenwood, I think because it's such a small school, it really forces you to be close with people in your grade, but also in different grades. For instance, I was on the hockey team for my entire experience at Greenwood, and I was captain my senior year. And the Greenwood girls hockey team includes grade 7 all the way up to grade 12. So you've got girls from all ages on that team, and you just form a different kind of bond. Like, whenever I see anyone from that team, I freak out in the best way possible. I like lose my mind. I get so excited. And yeah, there's just a really special community with being at such a small school and such a different, unique environment, like learning environment, and also just overall just different from most middle school and high school experiences. So I would say, yeah, the people and the community at Greenwood is something that I really appreciate now, looking back on my experience there. I would say the most unique factor about Greenwood is the outdoor experiences that we have. The outdoor education is something that you do not hear about at other schools, or just in general. It's something that's very unique. Essentially, every year in the fall and in the winter, you'll have an outdoor education trip with your grade and with a selected amount of teachers. Normally, the teachers that come are ones that are teaching you either that year or taught you the year previous to that. And they are so fun. Like, they are just hilarious looking back on. I think some of my best memories were made on those outdoor education trips. Like, in grade 9, we did the winter OE, as we call it. We built these igloos. There's a special name for them, but I'm forgetting the name. But we built these igloos, and we had to sleep in them overnight. And that was just so funny looking back on it. I had Mr. Farbstein, who was my advisor at the time, who was helping us build them and was so into it, like loved building the igloos, and it was just hilarious. Like, you just don't hear about that kind of stuff happening at other schools. And yeah, doing the canoe trips, like normally it happens in grade 11, but for my year, since we graduated, it was COVID and everything. We did our sea kayaking trip in grade 12, and we went with our math teacher, Miss Joannu, who is still around as well. I think Mr. Farbstein's still around. And that was just so awesome. Like, we were paddling across, like, we were paddling probably like 10 kilometers, like close to 20 kilometers every single day. And with our math teacher, with our good group of friends, going camping on random islands in BC. And it was pouring with rain with half the time, but we still had a blast. Like, just things like that where all these stories come up and I get so excited talking about it. I feel like you just don't really have that experience from other high schools. So I would say, yeah, it's pretty priceless. Okay, if Greenwood was a person, I would probably say that this person is outgoing, um, really fun, but overall just like a very kind person. Um, yeah, I think Greenwood is, it really forces you to come out of your shell, which is why I described it initially as outgoing. I think coming to Greenwood, I came from Toronto French School, and it was awesome. Also had a great experience there, but I was very much a shy girl coming in grade 7. Like, I kind of stuck to myself. I, really just was into the violin, and I still love the violin, don't get me wrong, still play. But I hadn't really come out of my shell much, and I think Greenwood really brought that out of me. I think just the nature of it being such a small school, and all the different things all the different clubs that you can be a part of, all the different sports teams, like the stakes are pretty low in terms of making the teams or, being accepted into these clubs, or like there's just less kids, so there's a lot more opportunity. And yeah, I think it really brings you out of your shell with that, and you learn a lot of these people skills at a very young age. And I think that is something that I've really, really been grateful for recently, like going into my jobs and going into university, not knowing a single person at UBC, having to go up to people and be like, hey, I'm Kristina, nice to meet you. Like, just having those social skills right off the bat that I've built from my middle school and high school experience. Yeah, I would say it's definitely shaped me to be the person that I am today. And yeah, I would say the kind aspect of this human being embodiment of Greenwood would be that it's very supportive. Um, I know that obviously it's a hard curriculum. You're still learning and you're still doing exams and things like that. But for the most part, the teachers are there to help you. And I always remembered, like, if I was ever stuck on something, if I was ever unable to grasp a topic, like going to extra help and just sitting there for hours and teachers explaining things to me and repeating things over and over again, or giving me extra practice questions, like explaining it in a different way. Like, there's no end to how much the teachers will support you, which I realize now how unique that is to Greenwood. And I know a lot of my friends didn't have that kind of experience. And yeah, I forget what I said as the third trait. I think I said funny, but something like that. Either way, unique, and special and hilarious and awesome to look back on are all things that I would describe my experience at Greenwood. I feel like I'm starting to become a broken record with these answers, but I think what connects the students is obviously the community and all these different opportunities that we have from grade 7 to grade 12. But yeah, I would also say the school spirit is really big. Um, I mean, you get put on a team in grade 7 and you're on that same team up until your grad year. So you kind of make what you can out of the people that are on the same team that you are on. You get into it, you're forced to do these activities, and then, you end up having a ton of fun. Um, and yeah, I would say the school spirit is really high. Like, the grade 12s always make a really big effort to, um, I mean, we have house captains. So when you're in your grad year, you're a captain of that house and you lead it, and you have to get the school spirit going. And normally the grade 12s do a really good job at that. And I know in my year, I wasn't one because I was head girl, head of student leadership. But a lot of my friends were all the house captains, and it was a blast. We'd be waiting at the doors every morning, blasting music. They'd be waving the flags up and down. I'd be holding the door, playing, on aux. It was hilarious. So yeah, I would probably say the school spirit is a really big aspect of what connects everyone, as well as the outdoor education trips, the programs, the teachers, the sports teams, honestly, everything. It's hard not to be connected at a school like Greenwood. Okay, I would say school's values are number one, curiosity. I would say that's a really big thing at Greenwood. Um, I think the teachers really foster that in the sense that they will teach things in different ways, or they will go on and figure things out for you if you're curious about it. And I think just the way that all of our programs are structured, it really forces you to be curious at a young age. For example, I took a green industries class in grade 11, and for one of the classes, we had like a full worm farmer come in and brought worms, and we literally got to play with worms for like half the class and look at the different like components of the soil and how the worms help the soil and this whole like decomposing system that they had. And it was the coolest thing ever. I had so much fun. But it's things like that where it's just very hands-on learning that you're like, how could you not be curious about that? Like, how does this work? Um, so yeah, I would say that that's a big thing. I would also say authenticity. I think Greenwood does a really good job at letting kids just be who they want to be and not frowning upon having like colored hair or painted nails or anything like that. Like obviously you have to wear a uniform, but I think that's a big thing with other private schools is that they don't really let their students express themselves in the way that they want to. And I think even outwardly expressing themselves, I think inwardly as well. Greenwood's a very fostering environment for all different kinds of kids who just want to be who they want to be. So I think that's pretty awesome. I would say something that you wouldn't realize about the school is just how connected it is. Um, like, for instance, even the people that aren't in my grade or were years ahead of me, I will recognize, I will go say hi to, and it's just like that instant, you went to Greenwood, oh my gosh, like, I kind of know you, or I know your brother, or I know your sister. Like, there's always one layer of connection between someone that went to Greenwood from me. And I think that's very special. And I see it all the time now. Like, I'm working downtown, I'm working at CIBC, and I have a ton of people at the bank as well that are from Greenwood. And as soon as I see them, it's like, oh my God, how's it going? Like, it's so fun. And even with the teachers as well, like, there's lots of teachers that have connections to the school. And so it's just like almost like a massive family, which if you haven't gone to Greenwood or experienced it, it's hard to understand from being on the outside of it. And I think that comes with a lot of like it comes with a lot of identity, saying that you went to Greenwood. And for the people that do understand it, like it's a lot of my personality that I hold today, which sounds so stupid because I'm like in my third year at university. Like, get over yourself, like that was high school. But at the same time, like it's such a part of me. And I'm really grateful that I still hold it with me. Like it's so fun seeing the people that I know and I love around Toronto and having connections to this school that I went to, because it really did change me. I think the school has done everything to shape who I am today. Like, there's so many traits that I look back on that I really gained and worked on at my time at Greenwood. But I would definitely say confidence and just personable skills really built up at Greenwood. I think the leadership positions that I held, especially, worked me to be that way. Um, I was head girl in my last year, and I was also the varsity captain of the senior girls hockey team. And I think that really threw me into, yeah, like just different leadership positions that you wouldn't really have that kind of opportunity at bigger schools with more kids. Um, and yeah, it forced me to get organized and lead people and run meetings and show up early, show up on time, book meetings with the teachers, run initiatives, be in front of an entire school assembly and be running assemblies. And even though I was just in these individual positions, there's so many positions like that. Like every single year, there's a student rep position that the students can run for. So when I was head girl, I was running all the different student reps from grade 7 to 11, or actually grade 7 to 12. There are student reps aside from the head girl and head boy. But yeah, so there's just so many different ways for students to really step up and get put into these leadership positions and become a more confident person. And I think that's very unique to Greenwood. Like, you just don't really have that kind of experience anywhere else. Honestly, I don't have a good answer to this because it's only about me. I wish my experience was, like, I wish I just wasn't so much of a grumpy teenager or, like, I guess, tween at the time when I was at Greenwood. Like, looking back, there were so many opportunities that I wish I really threw myself fully into, rather than being like, oh, that's lame, or like, oh, that's embarrassing. Like, oh my gosh, looking back, if I just had given it all and just not cared about what anyone else thought, I wish I could have done that now. Like, it would be so fun to go back and be in grade 8 gym class climbing up a rock wall. Like, are you kidding? That's so fun. Like, that is so fun. I wish I could be doing that rather than my job right now. Kidding, I love my job, but yeah, I'd been more grateful in the moment about the opportunities that were given to me.
For more information about this school, you can visit their profile at ourkids.net.